My name is Christina Gotowka. I am a faculty member at Tunxis Community College, and I teach developmental psychology. I was most fortunate to be selected to partake in this trip. I have been taking courses through the Pierre program at Yale for almost 10 years now. Pierre is a federally funded program. The focus is to provide learning opportunities for teachers so that teachers can learn about global issues to bring back to the classroom. I had never been to China. I love to travel and was captivated by the opportunity to have a field experience as well as the classroom. When we refer to the Silk Road, it's really talking about the exchange of ideas and goods that took place between the Western world and China over a long, long period of time. I think it's come to our attention at this point in time because China is becoming a bigger player in the economic marketplace. And so we are again looking at what have we learned from China in the past and what are the ways that we are going to engage with them in the future. I learned that these are people that we can live in a cooperative environment with and not to be fearful of them. I tried to take as many portrait shots as I could. Most often I would ask the people if I could take their picture first, since I was using a digital camera and I could immediately produce the picture for them to see and get their approval. That was a very nice point of contact with the culture as well. We spent quite a bit of time visiting temples, and so I do have a lot of images that were taken in the temples where we were allowed to take pictures. The color just was sensory overload. I'm activating the singing bowl, and people would use this, as I understand it, as part of their meditation process. Since the focus of the tour and the unit of study was on the minority groups, I did try to capture images of people who we don't generally think of as Chinese. There are quite a few pictures of the Uyghurs, who are Chinese Muslims, and because we were in the Tibetan region, I have a lot of images of the more Mongol type Chinese. The faces of the children that I saw along my trip were absolutely astounding. They were so full of energy and delight and happiness that every encounter with a child was wonderful. We were curiosities in some of the towns that we went to, and they were very eager to interact with us because we may have been, for them, some of the first Caucasians they were able to encounter. In our group we had a number of people who could speak Chinese, so that they were able to converse with the local folks with great ease. We were very, very lovingly received in almost every village that we went to. A couple of things that drew me to some of the images of work was, first of all, the small units of work that people were engaged in. The whole production was an individual. A lot of work took place in public spaces, so they were just on the sidewalk. They weren't renting space, they didn't own space, they came there to do their work for the day and then they left. I was also amazed at the amount of hard physical labor that women I saw were engaging with. They did a lot of the basic engineering work on sites, moving materials and carrying materials. We don't often see that in our country. I was fascinated with the discrepancy between modern technology and artifacts that have been used in that country forever. People with television sets, yet what they used to clean their house were things that have been used in that country for centuries. My curiosity was most piqued when I saw people on main highways sweeping the streets with brooms that look very primitive. I am very fortunate to live here in the United States. we have freedom here that I sensed many of the people that I observed do not have in China. So that's an important thing to bring back to, again, to my students, that we are very blessed in the fact that we live in a country that is truly a democracy. The second thing I learned was that simple life is not so bad. People get by without all of the amenities that we have in this country, and they are very happy. Next thing I learned is that we really shouldn't worry about China as our competitor at this moment, because the parts of China that I visited, it will be quite a while before the inhabitants are literate and able to compete. So China is not quite as ready as we are led to believe. I'm hoping that the exhibit here at school piques the curiosity of students here to want to explore and learn more about other cultures, and China in particular. The lived experience will never be replaced by any kind of technology. I can't wait to make my next trip.